Thank you very much, Ken. I'm absolutely delighted to be here in New York. I want to welcome everyone from across the world that's taken the opportunity to come to our first Qualcomm New York E3. And it's great to be standing here with, I think, one of the most pioneering partners that we've had in Formula E. This has been a real partnership that's been built on a shared vision, and I think Ken articulated it very, very well earlier, where he took us through how the opportunity occurred. We were at the very, very start of I suppose, our journey. We were in a position where we had the electric championship, we had an idea, we had a passion, and we wanted to create a revolution where we transformed people into taking the electric car as an alternative to combustion engines. And when we approached DHL originally, we didn't have a car, we didn't have any drivers, we didn't have any teams, and we didn't have any cities. So when I say to you that DHL has a pioneering attitude, I hope you get the philosophy of the company. They dare to dream big. And I think with their Vision 2050, you can really see the vision, the aspiration, the sky is the limit with DHL. And what we've been able to do as a company is work together to focus on technology, on innovation and sustainability, and really to develop our proposition as a global motorsport series in a way where we lessen the impact on the environment, we lessen the carbon footprint, and that we work together to be able to do that. And I think a lot of the videos have been fantastic marketing videos, but really they're the partners behind the scenes that are enabling this whole entertainment circus to move around the globe in the most sensitive way possible. So I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I know there's a couple of questions. But I just wanted to welcome you all and thank Ken, Sabrina and the DHL team for being great partners and having a shared vision.
So we now move on to the next section of our press conference. The floor is open to you. Thank you, Ken, for your presentation. Ali, for explaining the spirit behind Formula E, and now the floor is yours. Feel free to ask any questions you'd like. Just a moment. Yes?
Hi, I'm Marcelo Padin from Electric Motor News, Italy. And I would like to know how many things learned DHL with the transportation of the electric cars in 2.5 years, almost 3 years, since that beginning of Formula E.
Thank you. Could you just repeat that question?
DHL, a lot of things more about transportation of batteries, this could be getting
I think he wants to understand the logistics behind how the learning curve was so quick in 2 years to be able to support Formula E.
Well, for many years we've been involved in motorsports as well, moving vehicles around the world for various events. So the physical movement of goods, I think, we knew reasonably well. But trying to do it in a much more carbon efficient manner, a lot more planning, a lot more use of ocean rather than air. But probably the biggest issue was the transfer of lithium batteries, right? So there's a lot of regulations on that around the world. So we have our own specialists at origin and destination, making sure that we, as shown in the video at the beginning, making sure that we fully conform with all the United Nations regulations. And the other thing to remember as well, people forget that to the customs authorities, this is an import and a re-export, right? They don't just let these things happen. We have to have a lot of documentation in place that says these 12 cars that are worth 24 million are coming into the country. We don't want to pay any customs duty on them because they're not staying, but we have to register all that and make sure that they're ready for re-export at the end of the process as well. And also that's got to go, it's not just the physical movement, but the sort of clearances and everything else. We have to get them agreed in advance, because once it's finished in New York, it's going off to Montreal or somewhere else. But it's a learning process on every single shipment that we do.
All I was going to say as well is that the original batteries didn't have the same sort of certification as the McLaren battery has now. And so the process was very, very difficult at the start. And we were organizing launches in places like Los Angeles, and really not knowing until the very last minute whether the car was going to be let into the country. And it's having that localized support on the ground and that ambition to make things work that has really supported us.
Thank you. Go ahead, Liza.
So thank you so much. It has been amazing having been here since day one, season one, just to see how Formula E has grown and what an amazing job DHL has done along the way. So looking forward, I know that next year's schedule is going to be even tighter in terms of turnaround going from date to date, which is also equally as exciting. You guys love raising the bar. So I'd love to know, both from the DHL perspective and as well from Formula E, what we can have in store, why that decision was made, and yeah, what we have to look forward to.
Okay, thank you very much. Very, very good question. The philosophy behind it is we're a winter sport. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to create a season where we had more momentum. So I think you'll have seen this year we had a race in Hong Kong, then a race in Marrakesh, and then we had quite a long break before we had the South American leg. And yes, it's more trying from a logistics point of view, but what it does is it gives us more momentum in the season. So we're starting in Hong Kong in December. We're moving on to Marrakesh in January. Then we're going to Santiago, Mexico City, down to Sao Paulo, over to the European leg, where we've confirmed both Rome and Paris, and we have 2 races pending in Europe, very exciting races. And then we finish off very similar to this year with New York City as a doubleheader and Montreal as a doubleheader. But really what we want to do is to build the momentum, connect with fans in a very relevant way, and create that momentum that engineers more of a fan base.
Yeah, I think from a DHL point of view, it's just about working in close partnership. In fact, I look at Formula E in many ways as a small startup. Well, not a small startup, but a lot of the SMEs that we deal with. That the great thing about today's environment is that in the old days, when you started a business, you'd started in New York, and you'd do New York, and then you'd do America. Today, from day one, you can go international if you've got an idea. And so, one of the things that was attractive for us was the sustainability aspect, and what was attractive for Formula E was that anywhere they wanted to go in the world, we've got a local team, we've got the capability of getting everything in out of there, right? And we like to see them grow as an SME, just like every other SME that we've got in the world, because I'm a sincere believer now, this is what's going to drive the next boom, in the whole world. And this is where, Jack Ma from Alibaba is very, very visionary. He's talking about EWTO, where every small business everywhere in the world can send, to anywhere. And that's really going to be an opportunity to drive global commerce. And this is why it's unstoppable, because everybody in the world now is looking for product from everywhere in the world. There's no barriers in many ways.